What's up? Creepers and Kickers, Christy, Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? What's up, Turbo Joe? Electronic Emotions Program. About damn time, he says. I don't even have my hat on. Should I put the hat on? I think I'm just going to leave it be for now. I don't think the hat necessarily has to happen just because it's a fucking, video. It's technically a live stream, so I don't think we need a hat. Unless you absolutely have to have it. Someone tell me, yay or nay. Do I go get the hat? Let the bullets fly. You know what? No, it's not going to be that. All right, so let me let me start with this. As a content creator, do you ever get like this, oh, I want to do this, oh yeah, and you get it all going, and then when it comes time to actually do it, you just kind of like, all right, fine, fuck it. I said I was going to do it. Well, that's exactly what happened today. I posted everywhere, I'm going to fucking do this. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. All right. My time was a little off because I thought the ladies were going to be out of the house a little sooner than they actually are. Feel comfortable, hat or no hat, doesn't matter. Cage rage, let it all out. Nah, dude. It ain't going to be anything like that. I will say this, though. I do have a list. I have 12 items that we can go through, and maybe even more if they come up. But I really just want to keep it more of an open chat. While I'm doing this part, I'm probably not going to interact too much with the chat itself, because I kind of want to stay on point. But, yeah, what are you going to do? So back to what I was saying. I thought the ladies were going to be out of the house sooner. They're going to see a local production of Cinderella, some shit like that. And I thought they would have been out of the house by 5 o'clock, so I was going to actually come on at 5:30. But it didn't happen. Itchy nose. Oh, you know what? I should have brought out, and I don't wear ball caps. I'm driving, so I'm just listening anyway. Okay, Kirks. Thanks for popping in, dude. I really do appreciate it. Listening or not, I mean, that's just as good as anything. I mean, you don't really have to stare at my face. As long as you're hearing what's going on, and once in a while you can safely comment, sir. Safely. Please don't do the shit with the phone and driving. That drives me nuts. I fucking absolutely hate that so much. I legitimately yell at people while I'm driving around. If I see someone on their fucking phones, I'll slow down, roll down my window, and be like, get off your fucking phone! But for real, $800 phone. Hey, what's up, man? Let's see, Bacon Ice Cream Productions. What's up, Richard? Hey, brother. Can't wait to hear what's going on, because I'm out with the kids, but I'll catch this on replay. That's all right, dude. Yeah, not with the kids. Not with the kids. And, okay, so anybody who may stumble upon this video after the fact, maybe trying to research the Amico, if you're looking for the family-friendly side of Amico, this isn't it. Not here. I just don't know how to put my little intro before the videos and stuff like that. I'm not smart enough to do shit like that. But I just got off work. I'm still in the parking lot. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm trying to catch up on these. Let me put on some glasses so I can read them. Let's see. Grandma and kids throwing an $800 at a $2,000 TV. It's not the brightest idea. Motion works in VR. Never on TV. Okay, so we already got a nay on the motion controls. Is that what we're going with that, buddy? Throwing an $800 at $2,000 TV. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose that's a good point. About to head home, but I'll be listening. Hey, what's up, Anthem? Thanks for coming by, buddy. All right, so I've made the decision. No hat. Yes, I've been growing my hair, and looking at it in the camera, it looks stupid. It looks stupid as fuck, but... So, okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. Like I was saying, I'm going to try not to interact with the chat too much while I'm going over the topics themselves. I mean, this isn't going to be a big deal. But over the past, I guess, couple of weeks, I've been hearing and seeing certain arguments, and and writing them down, the ones that bother me. They don't really bother me because at the end of the day, guys, we're talking about plastic. You know what I mean? We're talking about toys and entertainment. It really does kind of strike me funny how hot this topic gets on both sides of the spectrum. And I can see a lot of points on both sides. Not the ones that are misrepresenting it. If somebody has like this Marquise de Sang, hopefully I said that correctly, is saying nay towards the motion controls because of whatever, I could totally appreciate that. I really can. A criticism like that seems to be, in my opinion, valid. It really is valid. So if someone has legit criticism, I've never been one who's against it. In fact, I've had my own criticisms in the past and still kind of do. I'm under no illusions as to what the system's supposed to be. I don't think it's going to be the greatest thing on the planet. I don't think it's going to knock anyone's balls off. I understand what they're going for, and in what they're going for, it seems pretty cool to me, you know. But the amount of attention this thing gets, and the amount of extreme response on, again, both sides, and a lot of things I'm going to say today actually involves people within my circles and people within the dickhead circles. So I hope nobody takes great offense to some of the things I say. Like the first thing, I'm going to talk about a few things. That's not directly related to the Amico, but it's just something I wanted to bitch about anyway. That I know involves a few of my buddies here. And I hope they don't take too much offense to. It's just how I feel. It's just how I feel. And when I speak about stuff like this, I don't mean that negatively towards the individual. I guess I do, but you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying. It's not going to change my feelings about any individuals or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. So I do have 12 topics I want to talk about. And the first thing is words. Certain words that I see all the time. Again, nothing related to Amico. But I'm thinking to myself, and maybe because I am an old man, I don't know, but if you're a grown-ass dude using words like cuck, simp, sus, I can't take you seriously. I cannot do that. I don't know why. You remember diss? Remember in the 80s and 90s when we were like, dude, don't diss me? I couldn't stand that either then. I don't know what it is. But I more want to talk about the gossip side of this specific topic, I guess, in YouTube in general. Hey, Linda, what's going on? Retro Advisory Board. Sizzle with the plastic, though. Yeah, no, I totally get it. I'm trying to simplify it just to its core, though. I'm still excited. I have I have Amico stuff all around me, okay? You know, I still have that thing. I know it's not Amico, but... and my knit hat for Intellivision is up on the other side of Frankenstein's head. I am excited, but I want to keep it down to its basics. But let's see, who else is here? Okay, nobody else knew. Hopefully I've said hello to everybody. But the gossip side of things, I've been seeing a lot of, and I know this has always been the case, but channels dedicated to talking about other channels just kind of bother me. They kind of bother me, and that's why I don't do these too much. I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of a lot of this stuff that we're going to be talking about. I wanted to do a whole video about this, talking about other channels and watching them go back and forth in the Twitter wars. It just seems so middle school to me, so juvenile. I'm not going to name channels. But going back and forth, and I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't seem right. So now that I got that out of the way, we may still go on that. The whole gossip thing to me is like the lowest form of media you could actually ever represent yourself with. And I'm guilty of it too. I've made videos about the Truxton kid. I've made videos about Pat and Ian and all that crap. Second topic I want to talk about is I've noticed an influx of really small channels, and I don't mean anything by saying really small channels, popping up talking about the Amico all of a sudden. I saw one today. It was a very neutral video. He wasn't yay or nay on it. He was just talking about it. As if he was like like some kind of a news guy. Hey, Amico, Safe Family Friends, and all this crap. And some of these channels, and I'm not saying this to be smug, like 41 subscribers, 120 subscribers, stuff like that. But like all of a sudden, all these folks are just popping out of the woodwork. And I think what's happening is a lot of people are seeing that the Amico topic starts to fulfill certain subscription numbers. And again, mine is where it is because of the Amico and the Atari VCS almost exclusively. I had like 600-700 subscriptions before all of this nonsense started going down. And then all of a sudden, I hit 1,000, and it's been going up since then. What we got here? Riding Amico wave. Yeah, dude, and I'm not trying to be negative towards it. I'm not. If someone legitimately has a word or 12 to say about it, I'm cool with that. I'm all. I just all of a sudden this past 2 or 3 weeks, there's all these new channels coming out of nowhere. But the kind of channels that really bother me are the ones that are literally specifically geared towards that one topic, Amico. And more times than not, it's negative stuff, and that's fine if you want to be negative. I'm okay with that. But there are channels like using Tommy's name, but like changing it a little bit. I know you all know who I'm talking about. The Amico backwards, and there's a Tumblr page and all that. And all these folks are literally dedicating all their energy and time to the Amico. And there are people doing that on the positive side too. I just see that as psychosis. It's crazy. And I've watched a few of them. And it's like how angry these fucking people are over something stupid. Again, going back to it's just plastic. And I promise you I'm gearing up to something. I really am. But yeah, just the anger and the venous energy put into this stuff. And then when you call that out, they're just like, oh, it's just something fun I like to do. It's like, look at the time you're dedicating to it. Really? I love the idea of the Amico. I'm not up here every fucking day talking about, the screws, dude. Look at the screws. I love the screws. There's 22 of them. Let's look at them all. Let's count the sizes and see how many threads they have and what the gap is on the threads and the threshold and the torque. I bet you they're going to be X amount of pounds per torque, That's not me. That's not me, negative or positive. But they use words like cult, which you need to be very careful with that word. Even the FBI won't use that word very loosely. The FBI will not use the word cult very loosely. And you can go by the definition of a cult. And I guess technically there are some folks on our side of things that could be considered cult-like mentality. Whereas on the other side, it legitimately seems like a cult of people. There are a handful that have legit criticism, and the rest of them are just spewing out recycled garbage from a long time ago that has already either been disproven or proven. I don't know. It's just so weird to me that so much time is dedicated to this. It's one thing if you have a channel like mine that's gaming related, and you talk about it periodically, and there's times where I've had like 3 videos in a row. But putting that much energy into something like this, and then going out and calling other people cultists, I don't know, that's weird. All right. Let me catch up on the chat, and then we'll get to the actual topics. Cash's Treasures, what's up, my brother? I've been thinking about you lately. The other day I was in the shower. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you and I haven't chatted in a while, so I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna send out a how do you do, but I'm gonna do that right now, man. Thank you for coming by. I really do appreciate it. If you guys are into Garbage Pail Kids, Cash's Treasures, go look at that stuff. Go hook up my buddy there. He's a good dude, really good dude. We've done some deals back and forth toys wise. I actually printed up some stuff for him too. Really great channel if you're really into Garbage Pail Kids. Now that's not one of my topics, but I still pop over there now and again and watch a whole bunch of stuff. But if that's your deal, there you go. Okay, Amico has been delayed 3 times, Intellivision took pre-orders over a year ago. Okay, yeah, we'll get to all that. Cash, I'm glad to see that you've been doing well. Garbage Pail Kids, where? Go to Cash's Treasure, man. He's like the utmost authority on Garbage Pail Kids and collecting. Screws are metal. They are metal, and a lot of times, they're pot metal. Okay, so here are the topics that have kind of bothered me, that I've heard and seen people say. This is where we're going to actually get into it. we've gone on for however long now. The first thing I want to address is there's a handful of people out there that legitimately think Tommy Tallarico is spoon feeding all these channels what to say and what not to say, and basically scripting our channels. I'm in a lot of groups. I'm in a lot of private discussions and other discussions that involve sometimes Tommy, sometimes not, but basically Amico fans, okay? Some of which Tommy pops into once in a while or whatever. And I've never once seen or heard, and I have a lot of interaction. Him and I talk privately from time to time. We're friends on the Facebook. I've never once heard or seen him saying, all right, guys, when you make your video about something that we're going to talk about, like let's say he's going to put out a trailer video. He doesn't come out and say, okay, I want you guys to discuss this topic when you make your reaction videos. I need this thing to come through. Auto Necro, what's up, brother? If you jumped in earlier, I apologize for not saying hello. I think the internet has shown us how many crazy people there are in the world. There's an old expression, I think it came from a movie, that God must love crazy people because he makes so goddamn many of them. But finally, back to the topic at hand. That the Amico cult is all hail Tommy, bowing down, sucking on his toes, and waiting to be spoon-fed the information to spread out there. I gotta just put a fucking end to that right now. I don't think there's a single person, including Pete, OEB Pete, that takes direction from Tommy. I'm sure there has been people who have gotten, hey, this might be coming out on this date. He's shown us stuff, and we've talked about that publicly, when I got to see... I don't remember what I got to see. I don't remember what I got to see early, because a lot of it I asked not to. When he brings it up, he still says, hey, would you like to see the physical media? And I'm like, no, I'm good, but I want to be surprised when I see it. That's going to be a topic tonight. Actually, that's going to be the next topic. We'll get into that in a second. But Tommy, to my knowledge, has never once dictated any channel as to what they're going to say or what they're not going to say. So I don't know where the fuck that even came from. But you guys need to get that out of your goddamn brain matters, because unless there are some private things going on with a few other people, and I'm usually a decent judge of character, working 13 years in corrections, you kind of learn to get a handle on people, because in my line of work, if you didn't, you kind of could have died, Not to be extreme about it, but I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I like Turbo Joe's in here. Hopefully he's still in here. That dude's personality, you think he's taking direction from anybody? No. So get that out of your fucking head. Right now, mister. So physical media. There was one video, and I'm sure he's going to watch this, and I'm not going to mention names. Pete, dude, you didn't have to do that. Thank you, my friend. Yes. We'll make sure that happens, bro. What was it he said? He made a whole video saying everything I was talking about has just been proven, and on you, gotcha, and all this stuff about physical media, talking about card scan and all this stuff. Now, let me talk about the physical media to begin with. Nobody said in the beginning that there were physical games. Like, since we're talking about Intellivision, I still have these available. Nobody, including Tommy, has never once said that the games themselves are going to be physical things. You know what I mean? From day one, he's always stood on this ground saying, if you collect something, there will be a physical media for you to collect. It's just like an extra little thing for you to collect, to put on your shelf, the little tchotchkes, if you will. One of those things people collect are cards. They collect baseball cards, they collect action cards, movie cards, video game cards. I got a whole set of Intellivision box art cards that we still have to go through. People like collecting cards, so cards are going to be one of the things. It has always been 100% crystal clear that whatever it was just going to be something that you scan to the machine and then the game will download to it. So I don't get this gotcha mentality of, oh, we told you it wasn't actually going to be a game. It was never meant to be. The console has never once shown anything where you can input a physical thing to play a game on. So I suppose if you want to be technical about physical media, it's not like these where you jam these into a machine, the machine reads this specifically while you're playing, and then when you're done you pull it out and everything. It has never been that. It has never been said that it would be that. In fact, it has been spoken about multiple times that it will be a scannable item. Again, a piece of plastic. Maybe the Hot Wheels thing will have a special car that you touch your machine. There's a little chip inside that tells your machine he bought the game. Download the fucking game. Now you got a little car to put on your shelf. Hot Wheels collectors will be all over because they want to have every fucking one of them. And there's only one way to get this one. To buy it through the Amico game thing. You know what I mean? Maybe little figures. Maybe, whatever they can think of. Whatever they can think of. Oh, dude, Ordo, thank you, man. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. I'm going to have to find a way to pull all this out of the AdSense. So, but yeah, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So from day one, it has never been a physical thing to put into the machine that reads a game. It's always been a scannable thing that the machine will read and then download the game to it from whatever source. So I don't understand where the gotcha mentality that is from that one video or anyone else who thinks otherwise. It's kind of like a no-brainer. It really is a no-brainer. There's nothing that you can plug it into. So, I don't know. Let me go in here a little bit. Marquise has been talking a lot. I apologize for not reading all the things you've been writing because, again, when I'm in here, I'm ignoring the chat. But Tommy's a nice guy, but the people around him have not managed to bring back Tommy to reality. Yeah, I don't know. That's a personality thing, and I don't want to get into that. I'm not a fucking psych. I'm not a doctor. I'm not discrediting what you're saying. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it. I'm just saying that however Tommy behaves is how Tommy behaves, and he can only be the one to address that. So in all fairness, I understand where you're going with that. Some people think he's a little too out there with it. Some people think it's perfect. There's a happy medium somewhere in there. I like his lack of his full transparency, I should say. His lack of hiding. His if you want to contrast this with the Atari VCS thing, Tommy's out there and he's willing to say whatever. But he still has to do certain things in a business mentality. So, like when we got that email midnight on Friday night about the delay. It was a business move. What do you want from the guy? He's a fucking businessman, I don't know. See, I don't follow enough to know if it's physical or digital. But I am sad that it's not a physical card, a cartridge, or simple. Yeah, you know what? It's almost too expensive to do that now. Way too expensive. As a matter of fact, if the Coleco Chameleon card, I can't believe I'm even mentioning that. If the Coleco Chameleon had actually come out, can you imagine the cost of him having to produce cartridges? It's just too expensive. It's not a viable medium anymore. It's not viable anymore. Dan Hodgkin, hey Dan, how you doing, man? If Amico are released at all, I'll be surprised. With the recent developments, I would imagine some major investors will be pulling out. We'll get to the investor thing here in a little bit, I promise. I never did mention anything about the lack of it maybe not coming out. I don't think I'm addressing that. Here, let me put that here as number 13. Won't be released. I don't really have too much to say on that other than I really have faith that it will. I really do, knowing the passion that Tommy has. And I've said it a number of times in the past that a dude doesn't become that successful playing with his prick. You know what I mean? He's an action guy. He's a doer. He does it. Guy was homeless. And now look at them. That's all I got to say there. The delays. This third delay, I've been very outspoken about it, how upsetting it is to me. Not so much upsetting how it was, what's the good word for it? I've already used it a few times. It was disappointing. It was disappointing. But again, we got people playing gotcha mode with it when there's not a person on this planet who didn't expect it to happen. Now, how it happened or why it happened, maybe we can get into that conversation later on. But the reality is that the big three are having trouble right now putting things out, at least Sony and Microsoft. There are cars that can't be released because of the lack of materials out there. And according to certain articles, I think it was Turbo Joe who hipped me to this one specific one through one of his videos. They're talking a couple of years before any of the technology is going to catch up. A couple of years. You got to remember, everything was shut down for almost a full year. No manufacturing for a full fucking year. Can you imagine how far back a lot of companies are going to be? Now you got guys like Sony and Microsoft and then Intellivision. Well, Sony and Microsoft have fucking muscle. They have pull. So they're going to get all the shits. And whatever's left over, Tommy and his team get to have. And obviously it's not just them too, but you know where I'm saying. I'm just trying to keep it relatable to this topic. And it's slim pickings. It's slim pickings. And it's one of those decisions where you have to say to yourself, okay, do I try to get a few out? Or do I try to find an alternative that probably isn't as good, but at least it'll get it out? And I've always maintained that I would rather it come wicked late and right, or come out just wrong out of the gate. Because I think, even though some people are being turned off by the delays, and I totally understand that. Again, in the beginning, I said, legit criticism is valid. Legit criticism is fair, okay? And I see why people are pulling. I have friends that have pulled out because of this third delay. I'm not going to, again, name anybody. Because they're playing the I'll just wait and see kind of situation. And I totally understand it. I totally get it. I don't know where I was going with that. But regardless, I mean, you got to be realistic. I think it would be more valuable to them if it came out really late than early and fucked up. I don't know. I thought that was another one of those common sense things, but and you also have to remember too, and this is another topic that we won't get into, but you can go back and forth on who the actual market is for this thing. Is it us fat old cringe fucks? Or is it moms and all that stuff? And the actual intended market doesn't technically know about it yet. So even if it does come out late, it's not going to... And if it's successful in that market in which he's actually going for, I don't think it's going to hinder that at all. It's just going to be a bunch of us fucking spoiled bastards. Where's my Amico? Whoa, it's delayed again. I'm going to make 3 videos about it because I'm going to fucking cry. Shut the fuck up. It's delayed. Oh, well. The world's in fucking chaos right now. It looks like we're going to have another wave of it. So, the fucking thing may not come out for 3 years for all I know. Because of the way it's going out there. Don't fucking quote me on that. Don't start making videos. The Creep said it's not coming out for 3 years. Tommy must have told him so. Going back to topic number 3. Tommy told me to say that. But, yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see what's going on here. Retro Bro, what's up, brother? What's up, my friend? Sal popped in here. Turbo Joe is still here. Good. I'm talking shit about you, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Good. I hope you guys are talking amongst yourselves. I don't have any moderators, so if you say some things that piss people off, oh well, it's going to go through. It's going to go through. So the next topic I want to talk about is the stock photos. And here's one that I just laugh my ass off whenever fucking people talk about it. Stock photos. Ever since the dawn of fucking advertising, whenever you had some kind of media that you had to look at, stock photos have been a thing. corporations have been using stock photos for as long as photography has existed, okay? I know we all know this. You go to any website that's just some business, it's full of fucking stock photos. I, years ago, used to work for a company called Pioneer Medical Systems. They're not around anymore. And they were number 2 in the country for, remember Life Alert? I've fallen and I can't get up. Panda Sub, what's up, brother? What's up? If you guys haven't subscribed to Panda Sub, oh my God. I see good things coming. But regardless, I've been responsible for many of them ads. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. We were number 2. And if you went to our website, they showed these pictures of people like wearing the little headsets and all that, and this nice, clean looking, like everyone's happy about their job and everything. The actual response center, which they were very good at doing, by the way, I'm not going to try to, whatever, was an old fucking mill house. You know what I mean? It was like brick, old ass wood, and dust everywhere, and machines, and everything worked and everything, but it didn't look anything like the photo. It's all about this right here, getting the mind to say and do whatever in order to sell your product. And if you don't think someone like Tommy's not going to try to do the actual common things to sell his product, because at the end of the day, there is a bottom line. This. He may have passion behind it, but he's not doing it for fucking free. Stock photos have been used since the dawn of time. Sure, could he have hired a whole bunch of people to hang on to Amico controllers and everything? Yeah. Could he have used some of the events that has been out there with people actually playing the system? Yeah, he could have probably. But stock photos are they're an easy way to do it. You buy the photo and you're able to use it however you want. Now, somebody has recently apparently screamed that it's fucking lazy. And they were yelling at it in a very venomous way. This is fucking lazy, Tommy. And it came to my attention via Twitter that same dumb douchebag and his little girl partner stole somebody's images to use as thumbnails without even asking. He didn't even fucking pay for them. Now, if that has been rectified after the fact, then good on them. Good on them. But don't come out fucking scream that something's lazy and then kind of do the same thing, but like not really. Because Tommy probably paid for those images and he has the rights to use them. Whereas this douchebag didn't have the right to use anything. And he used it anyway. And then started calling lazy on people. So stock photos. There we go. Number 6. I'm scratching it off the fucking list. I see the chat going nuts, guys. Thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming by. Let's take a break. We're almost halfway through my list. I do want to thank everybody for coming by. Whether you're a yay or an A on the Amico, it doesn't matter to me. As long as everyone's cool about it. Legit criticism is legit criticism. Lies and bullshit, that's a whole nother angle. And of course, gossip. Don't be a fucking gossip person. But Fatty needs to drink his Coke. Next, let's see. Using other images. I already wrote that. Crowdfunding. Let's talk about this. Now, I'm not very knowledgeable about the actual website in which that was used or whatever. And I don't want to go too far into this one because I will admit that I'm not knowledgeable 100%. And I don't have all the facts and everything. But I do know that there is a difference between something being crowdfunded and something being invested in. Both are kind of hoping for something to come out. One is more so because they want a return on their investment, whereas the other one wants an actual item. If you were to crowdfund something, that's what you're doing. You're legitimately buying something ahead of time in hopes that the project gets off the ground. So you're basically funding the project to happen. And in return, you will get one of those things early, Whereas, in this case, they're using a specific website that I guess has been known for crowdfunding, but they're using it as an investment. We have a company here. We need to raise funds and capital so that we can make the things happen. So rather than actually going to Indiegogo or fucking buymyshit.com or whatever the fuck they're called, he decided to do the pre-order route, and he decided to seek investors. That's what companies do. They seek investors. If you don't have the capital, to get done what you need to get done. Nolan Bushnell would never have gotten the Atari VCS off the ground had he not sold the company. He needed capital. That's technically not the same thing as getting investors. But what I'm saying is one of the most iconic video game systems of all time didn't have the capital to make it happen. So Nolan Bushnell sold the company, in this case, to make sure it happened. And it did. It happened. You gotta raise money one way or another. Whether you sell the company to somebody who has the money to make it happen, you get people to invest in it, and hopefully there's a return on their investment. And if not, that's the risk you take. Or you crowdfund some stupid shit. Crowdfunding is a 50-50. Look at how many crowdfunded things are out there that people have put money into, and they've never, ever seen anything from it. He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to go that route. The crowdfunding is, in my opinion, though it's a modern way of trying to get your thing off the ground and can be an amazing tool for some people, it's got this kind of slimy kind of connotation, which is why it's being used as an argument, I suppose. But I think the crowdfunding thing needs to stop. This whole investment scam talk needs to stop. It's not an investment scam. Believe me, if you've legitimately talked to Tommy, you know he's trying hard. Look at videos with him in it when this first thing got announced, and look at videos of him now. Okay, go all the way back to when this all started. And it's funny. I watched this documentary about being the President of the United States a couple of years ago. And they showed comparison videos, 4 years of being elected and leaving the office. And how much it has aged somebody because of everything that goes into being the President of the United States. Now, if you look at pictures and video of Tommy when this first started, and look at it now, though he's still a sexy motherfucker, he's handsome as always. You could definitely tell that he is doing something that's aging him. Now, either he's a fucking tweaker, a crackhead, or he's working his ass off 24 hours a day trying to get this passion off the ground. If you've talked to him for any amount of time, seriously, one-on-one. Now, whether it eventually comes out or not, we're not going to discuss that really. I mean, I know I said we'd put it on there, and I will briefly touch on it, because I don't have a fucking crystal ball. I don't. But regardless if it's successful or not, whether it comes out or not, there's no denying that this is a legit passion project for this one individual. And he's doing everything he can to make sure it happens one way or the other. And thank God for this last delay, because a lesser person would probably just say, fuck it, just get whatever you can get going and just get it out there and we'll fucking fix it later, which would destroy a young company's reputation. Although, I mean, Hyperkin still sells their fucking product, so what do I know? I'm not a business analyst. So, how about we discuss the fact that Amico does not even have its FCC certification? Maybe we'll talk about that in the next one. I haven't really looked into that at all. So, thanks for coming by, Teddy. I appreciate it, man. Or ma'am. I don't know. I'm just saying, hey, man. You know, just don't get offended. So, the next one was about the cult. We already talked about cult earlier. I don't think we really need to talk about the cultism anymore. Just know that it's a word that shouldn't be used too loosely. Even, like I said, the FBI doesn't even use it that much. I can tell you law enforcement hates using that word until it's official. And the ones screaming cult seem to be a bigger cult. I don't see anyone, well, I mean, there are some exceptions, I will admit. But I don't see anyone on my side of the world legitimately just like making websites and YouTube channels doing nothing but Amico, okay? Whereas I see a lot of that coming from the other side of things. It is what it is. You call it what you want. Whatever. All right, so the next topic, and this is an old one, but it came up again. That we're all on some kind of payroll with Tommy. That we're shills. There's another word. Did I say shill earlier? If you say clout, sus, simp, or cuck, I had to look up what cuck was today, okay? Grown-ass dudes using these fucking words. Grown-ass people. but we're all on a payroll or whatever, and we're all shills for the Tellerico cult. I've never received a single paycheck from Tommy, so if there are people out there that are legitimately getting paid, let me know. I want to get in. I want to get in on that because I could always use a few extra dollars, you know. And hopefully, if I'm getting paid, I'm technically an employee, and I'll get an employee discount. Now, I will say that Tommy has been gracious to send things out to people. And maybe you can consider that a little bit of whatever. I got a few things from Tommy as well. We did a whole video on me unboxing it. It was sent to me after I did a handful of fucking videos in the early days of it. And there was one video I wanted to make when two games came out and said that they were actual mobile games. When it was discovered, if you want to call it that I think it was Evil Knievel and some fucking charades game with emojis. Mr. Paku Paku! What's up, my brother? That's my co-conspirator in a podcast that we've made one episode on, and a lot of that's my fault. I just haven't made the time to do it. But we need to do Coast to Coast Retro again, Mr. Paku Paku. So we'll get on that here pretty soon. Payroll, what was I talking about? Yeah, so when those came out, I was legitimately pissed because Tommy had said, and this is going to be a topic too, about exclusives and stuff like that. So then I saw that those two games were technically apps or something that came out. I got mad. So instead of making a video and losing my shit, I contacted him directly and said, Tommy, what the fuck? What is this deal here? Are you making a fuck out of me here? Because I'm really excited for this thing, and I don't need no fucking shenanigans. And he says, give me your number, I'll give you a call. Just like that. And the guy called me. This was early March, I think, when the pandemic was just kind of like, just before everything shut down. And we talked for a good 2 or 3 hours. 2 or 3 hours. And he explained that. We talked about other things as well. Matter of fact, physical media came up. He gave me a couple of insiders, that I wasn't allowed to talk about just yet. But then afterwards he says, you know what, I really appreciate how you took care of this. You, instead of popping off, came to me, and I appreciate that you've been out there talking about this. Because at the time, and I'll brag about this all day long, at the time I legitimately was like the only guy out there doing this, like regularly. Talking about Amico, trying to get the word out there. Because I was that excited about the console. Still am. And he said, let me send you out a couple things. I'm like, you know what? No, dude, I would feel weird doing that. He's like, let me just send you out a couple things. So I said, you know what? I asked for this thing here and t-shirts for the girls. That's it. That's all I asked for. Ended up getting a sweatshirt, which I wear all the time. This is the warmest sweatshirt I have ever fucking worn in my life. Swear to Christ. That hoodie? That's fucking warm. I highly recommend it. If you buy anything from Intellivision, go to their website and get that hoodie. The one that just says Intellivision on it or whatever, has the Running Man. You'll also be a topic starter out in the public, believe me. I can't tell you how many people have stopped me. And I've spread the word of Amico to them. So I received a few things from them, and there are other YouTubers that have too. Now, their story may be completely different. It may be you're an influencer, let me send out a few things and butter you up or whatever. But as far as the payroll thing's concerned, you know what? No one's on the fucking payroll. Tommy, again, going back to one of the first topic, is not telling us what to do or say. And the only last thing I really want to say about this thing is I want to talk about my father, which, by the way, the Walk to End Alzheimer's is coming up in another month or so. All links are down below if you wish to donate. Over here in the chat is a good way to do it too, but I would actually prefer going directly. That way the money's not going through my hands. Plus YouTube takes 1/3 of that. And I got to figure out how to withdraw it before so I can keep it separate. But long story short, my father, on top of being a minister, he was VP in sales for a trucking company. My whole life he did sales for truck companies. And he worked for this company called Crystal Motor Express. And one of the things that the Mazziellos, the owners of the company, they're long gone now, really nice dudes, they were brothers, used to get every year were tickets. My father would get a stack like this of tickets for Celtics games, a stack like this for Bruins games, and a stack like this for Patriots games, because football's always been an expensive ticket. But he would get tickets, and what were they for? Were we going to go to all those games? Of course not. We weren't going to go to all those games. Those were for clients. Hey, thanks for your business. Here's a couple of tickets to go see the Celtics. Here's a couple of tickets to go see the Bruins. And, of course, once a year for my birthday, I would get to go see them play the Buffalo Sabres, because when I was growing up, the Sabres was my favorite team. Of course, the Bruins were too. But I was kind of like a Buffalo Sabres guy. I don't know why. I don't know how it happened. It just happened. Maybe I liked their logo. I was a little kid, okay? And then all these years, I was just a Buffalo guy. So me and my dad would poke each other. And it just so happened that right around my birthday, Sabres would be in town. So, was better before the Amico religion. You know what, dude? I don't really talk about Amico that much, though. Do I? I really don't. This was just kind of an impromptu thing, to be honest with you. But, you know, I appreciate the criticism. I really do. And maybe I'll be more to your liking once the Amico thing's all over. I don't know. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but sorry. It is what it is, I suppose. But I appreciate the criticism. I really do. All positive, my friend. All positive. It could help me steer the ship a little bit better. But yeah, my dad would pass out fucking tickets left and right to clients. And that just, again, we're going back to business. Stock photos. It's a business practice. Giving little gifts out to clients or your target audience. It's a simple business practice that happens all the time. Call it slimy, call it whatever you want. Will it influence certain people? I'm sure it will. I'm sure there are some weak-minded fools that would be like, oh, I got free stuff, so I'm going to be about this thing all the way. There probably are. But I can tell you right now, if something were to happen tonight that looked fucking shady and horrible or whatever, none of this fucking swag shit is going to matter to me. I don't give a fuck about hats and shirts and all that crap. It's the integrity of the individual behind the project. It's the project itself and the people behind it. That's what I'm fucking banking on, you know? Not fucking hats and t-shirts and hand jobs and paychecks. Which I don't get any of that stuff. I don't get hand jobs or fucking paychecks. But then again, Tommy is on the West Coast, so it'd be hard to get a hand job from that far away. So, enough about that. Ain't no one on no fucking payroll, okay? Not yet, anyway. Let's see. Lying about our excitement. This is a weird one because I can't really speak for others. But when I say I'm legitimately excited for Amico, I mean it. I'm not just saying it because I want to say it. I'm not just saying, Alex Valentine, what's up, my friend? How are you? I care about handies. I do too, man. I do. I actually like the handies with the, you know, the dudes that are like mechanics and stuff, and they got the calluses right here? You ever heard of ribbed for her pleasure? It's kind of the same idea. As long as there's a little bit of something to glide it, it tickles. It tickles. And when it gets caught underneath the head lip, there goes my monetization. All right, we've derailed. Lying about our excitement. I don't think there's a single person that's lying about their... Even the most excited person on the planet. Again, we're going back to my good buddy, Mr. OEB Pete. Have you seen some of his latest ones? He's excited when he's excited, and he's real when he's real. You know? He wasn't on the fucking camera going, yay, another Amico thing, because this is a good thing and we get it. No. He was like, it's frustrating. But I can deal with it, and when the Amico comes out, it'll come out, you know? There are some people who've said some pretty strong things, like jaws hitting the floor and stuff like that. Who the fuck is anyone to tell you that that's not how you're feeling about something like that? That you're just lying to yourself or lying to other people for whatever. What the fuck business does anyone have lying about their excitement for something? You can still get the subscriptions and the fucking clicks and the views and the likes and the dislikes just talking about it. Never mind proclaiming your excitement. So I suppose I could say, on the other hand of things, that people so venomous about hating it are fucking full of shit. They're just doing it for the clicks and the likes and the views and the simps and all that shit. And the cucks and the sus and the gossip. You know, and if someone's really that fucking excited about something, I'm not that excited. My jaw isn't on the floor. I said early on, I've said it multiple times, I'm under no illusions as to what this console is going to be. It's not going to blow my mind, but it speaks to me. I am excited for it. I can't wait to see what it's going to have to offer. And it speaks to me more than anything with a couple of thumbsticks and fucking 40 million buttons. And you can say that's a bullshit argument all day long, but it's true. My brain is too simple for something like that. It really is. The Switch has been proving it. That's why you don't see a lot of Switch videos. I'm trying. I'm fine. I got more games for the Switch than the girls do. They have 2 and I have like 12. I can't get it. Can't get it. So something new that's geared towards a fucking simpleton like me, I'm all over it like flies to a pile of shit. But anybody who's going to sit there and criticize anything, criticism is legit. But you can't criticize someone's excitement for something. And God damn you for doing so. Seriously. God damn you for doing so. If someone is legitimately fucking excited about something, fuck you for bringing that down. Fuck you, fuck your family, and fuck your dog. See, now I'm getting fucking mad. I'm getting mad. Don't fucking criticize someone's fucking happiness because you just want to be a cocksucker. I'd love to slap the shit out of people like that, but we just don't do that. We don't do that, right? It's a civil society. All those people who want to meet me at Lake Quinnipiac in Wakefield, I'm there all the time. I keep getting threats. I'll fight you at the lake. I live in Wakefield. Come to the lake. I'm there all the time. My dad's buried on the other side. And I love hanging out at the lake by the gazebo. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But if you're the type of person that you can criticize the console all you want. You can criticize someone's video about the console. You can criticize this video, and that's fine too. You can criticize whatever the fuck you want. You got the freedom to do whatever you want. But you start jumping into scumbag mentality when you start telling people that their excitement is not only real, but making fun of them for it. Making fun of them for it. And if that's the type of person you want to be, then I don't think you deserve to be around. I really don't. That type of person doesn't... There are fucking kids dying with cancer. Every day. That deserve the breath you breathe fucking far more than you ever will. And they're going to be gone tomorrow. And you're going to be here making fun of some guy who's excited about something. Go fuck your mother. That's enough of that. So I promise you, 90% of these people are genuinely excited about this thing. Whether it's an extreme genuine or extreme excitement, or just like me who's like, yeah, I'm excited for this thing. Fucking lowlives. Lowlives. So I want to talk about the price point, because this is a moot point. And it's kind of a dead horse. Maybe it's not a moot point. Maybe I used that word incorrectly. Because I'm a scholar and all, you know that? I'm a scholar. People are like, the price point changed. All right, I'm not going to argue that it's too much or not enough. If the thing was $50 and you felt that was too much money, that's fine. That's fine. You can have that criticism. I don't care about that. So if you take anything away from this, take that, please. $250 to $300 is a lot of money for some people. Like this guy. And it may or may not to you feel like a lot of money for what the Amico is claiming to be. And that's legitimate criticism. That is okay. What I want to argue is people saying that Tommy fucking pulled the switcheroo on us. As far as the price point. The original price point was $149 to $179, I think is what he wrote. If someone wants to correct me, by all means, go right ahead. But I want to say between $150 and $180 was where he was going with. If you, go back to then, and you would probably have to, God be with you if you have to do this. Go on the Atari Age forums and go back to when he was discussing it on the Amico thread there, which I haven't been on in months. Way too much activity for my fucking simple brain. People kept asking him for a price point. People kept asking him for a price point. So he came out and said, we are aiming, we are targeting, don't quote me, for between $150 and $180. And I was excited about that. I made a fucking video like that. When the actual price point came out, I made a video like that showing I may not be able to do this thing. And if it wasn't for the $100 deposit thing, I probably would not have gotten a Founders Edition. I probably would have just been like waiting for it to come out. And then just pray I was able to get one somehow, Maybe on sale or on clearance or whatever, New models come out, so they're getting rid of the older ones. But it was never written in stone. It was never said that it was going to be $149 to $179. People kept asking him for a fucking price point. So he says, this is what we're aiming towards. Again, another common thing. This is our target. Guess what? Targets change. Targets change. This is where we would like to be. Then they get into the actual engineering of it and the manufacturing and all this stuff, and they start throwing numbers around, and they're like, fuck, I don't think we could do this properly for under this amount of money. So when he came out with the actual official announcement, that's what it was. And then everyone seemed to think that it was some kind of big switcheroo. A big fucking putting wool over our eyes or lying to us. That's not true at all. It was a target price. Now again, if the price of the console is more than what you think it's worth, that's legitimate. That's fine. I've never once ever had a problem with that. And I don't think anyone's ever had it, including Tommy. I mean, he'll sit here and try to sell you why it's valuable and worth the money. But he's a salesman. He's a businessman. And I even made a video breaking down every console, going from Founders to retail, and showing that actually he did kind of hit those price points, but he had to throw some bells and whistles in there and some games and some extra little things to make it happen. So in a way, he did kind of hit those price points. In fact, the most expensive bundle came in less than $150, I believe. Go back to that video. I have an Amico playlist. It's in there somewhere. But the fact that everyone thinks that he did some big switcheroo with the price point is just bogus. I wish I could just get that clear and debunk that for everyone right now. It was a target number. People asked him, well, what do you think this is going to cost? So they came up with a number of where they were aiming, and unfortunately, they missed the mark. They missed the mark, and they had to increase the cost. There shouldn't be anything more said there. I thought that was kind of common sense. Really was. Again, happens a lot. It happens in the toy world all the time. All the time. Now, this figure is going to be this much, and then it comes out like the Toonie Terrors. We thought they were going to be $20 a pop. No, in that case, they're actually $12.99, so they were able to make it at a more reasonable cost. But a lot of times, it happens. It happens. Hey, we're aiming for this cost. Oh, sorry, manufacturing and all kinds of other stuff happened. Now, to add another thing that I wasn't even going to talk about because it just came to my mind now. With what's going on in the world with manufacturing and everything, it's a wonder he hasn't actually had to increase it at all. And you're lucky he hasn't. He's lucky he hasn't, because I do think if it goes any further, that it probably would go dead in the water. But with the price of components right now, it's a wonder he hasn't been like, ooh, so guys, about that price. He hasn't. He's holding true to it. He's holding true to it. And that was legitimately something I just thought of right now. So, I don't know. The last thing before we talk about will it actually release, I want to talk about is exclusive content, okay? Exclusive content. This is a topic that's really, it's tough to talk about because on a technicality, you can go any which way you want. Hey, No Swear Gamer, what's up, my friend? Guys, I'm sure you've all heard of No Swear Gamer. But if you want a resource for retro games, he's the guy to go to. He's the guy to go to. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a game, had no idea what it was going to be like, went to his channel, sure as shit he had it. He goes through everything. He tells you when it was published, who made it, how the game plays, and he even ranks it. Amazing channel. Phil, thanks for coming by, man. I do appreciate it, my friend. I don't even know what I was talking about. Okay, exclusive content. Again, going back to the early days of the Amico, he never said that all these games themselves were going to be one-offs. There are going to be one-offs. The games are going to be either exclusive or have exclusive content within them. No direct ports. Meaning he's not going to let's use Evil Knievel. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, no swear gamer, dude. Anytime, my friend. You're one of my top 5 YouTubers of all time, brother. Top 5. I'm not gonna say where it is. I'm gonna leave that a mystery. But seriously, everyone go check him out too. All right. So what was I saying? Okay, let's take Evil Knievel. Okay, sure. There's a mobile game that you can play for free or whatever. But what Tommy did is he reached out to the guy and said, you know what, this game looks awesome. We love Evil Knievel. Because Evil Knievel's fucking awesome. Okay? We need more Evil Knievels in the world. I believe that. Full-heartedly. And he says, you got a little game there. Would you like to build your dream game? And they're like, yeah. So he's like, all right, let me pay you. I'll pay you right now. Build whatever game you want. It just has to fit in these specs, you know? Sure, there is an Evil Knievel game, and it's probably going to be somewhat similar to the one that will be on the Amico. But it's going to have exclusive content, and it's going to be made directly for the Amico. And also in other games, there are going to be games that are only going to be on the Amico. So maybe it's a play on words, you know? Maybe it's a little play on words that people just don't want to get around. They find to be a little bit bullshit, but no, they're either going to be an exclusive title, meaning no one else has it, period. Or it's going to be a title with an exclusive content kind of situation, you know? No direct ports. He's not taking Evil Knievel from that app and putting that directly onto the machine. So we need to get around that idea. He's not taking games that exist and just putting them on the machine. He's taking games that exist in some cases, adding to them, giving them an Amico-esque experience, so to speak. It's basically the experience that you're going to be paying for, not so much the game. You can get the game Evil Knievel, I guess, on an app store or whatever. But it's the experience of playing his Evil Knievel, if that makes any sense. It's going to have a lot more stuff. They're adding to it. You know, they're taking some away, I'm sure. Yeah, it's again, another simple concept that this one's a little tougher because of the play on words. People hear, oh, exclusive game, that means it never happened anywhere else. Well, Astro Smash isn't an exclusive game. It is an Intellivision title, but that's been on Atari as Astro Blast, which is the one I grew up playing. But the Astro Smash that will be on the Intellivision Amico is exclusive to that that console. It's going to have its own content. It's going to have that multiplayer aspect of it. Same with some of the Atari titles, you know, Missile Command and all that stuff. So it's kind of a weird, slippery slope to go down. But if you just look at it as no direct ports, that should make a little bit more sense to you. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully. And if you still think that's cheapening out, then again, legit criticism is legit criticism. I can just only give you what facts that I know and hope they sink in. But I believe no direct ports is pretty simple to understand. Of course, they're going to be games that we're familiar with, but they're going to Amicoize them. You know, I'm going to coin that phrase, Amicoized. So let's see what's going on in the chat before we talk about the last one. Using the screen buttons, blah, blah, blah. Jumping is crazy. You know, it is, unless, of course, the screen itself is sensitive enough to take it. I hate using my cell phone for games. I'd never do it. But in some of the examples I saw, the whole screen was the button. So it's like it didn't matter where your thumb was, you know? And if you want to get those little tactile button things, I will admit, the controller, from day one, I've been kind of not skeptical on, but a little nervous about it. I cannot answer, I'm sure. Use buttons. Okay, so you guys are talking amongst yourselves. I'm sorry. What was I saying? Oh, I've been kind of, not skeptical, maybe that's a bad word for it. inquisitive about the controller, especially the buttons up here and all that stuff. But it says that you can configure it all the way. I hate the original Intellivision controller. I've never been shy to say that. I friggin' despise it. I despise it to the point where I gotta get off my ass and do it. I'm working on a way to actually improve it, hopefully, with like a D-pad situation, though it may not work as well as I'd like it to. But I'm very curious about the controller. And a lot of that, remember when I was in Disney and I made that video about everyone's playing Amico and here I am at fucking Disney? I was legitimately not mad that I was at Disney and not at that thing. But one of my biggest things was I didn't want to play the game because it would be like, I'm playing it before you, ha ha ha. But I'm curious about the controller. And everyone's saying that once you get the controller in your hand, the light turns on. Light shines on Marblehead, as we say here. That you'll get it. Now, whether you do or you don't, I don't know. I feel that this is the greatest controller of all time. I always have a Genesis near me. Greatest controller of all time, in my opinion. But you may fucking hate that controller. My buddy Rich, was it Rich? Yeah, got a 6-button controller. I don't like that one either. But he loves it. He was all excited. So, 31 flavors for a reason. Everyone can't like the same thing. So I'm wondering how I'm going to react to the controller itself too. And I don't think it would ever sway my pre-order. It will never sway my pre-order. But I'm curious. I've seen the disc in action. And I know it's not going to be the same deal as the original Intellivision, where it's sunken in. It's a flat disc. Your fingers get, it's raised up. It's got things for your finger to, One person, I think it was today, I saw one of those smaller channels that are just coming out. He was saying people are going to use it like this. What? I mean, I suppose you could. Maybe if there was something attached to it. I don't know. Again, really? You're going to be critical about it, know what you're talking about. I don't think anyone's ever said it's going to be used like this. And again, if I'm wrong, correct me in that box right there to the side of me. But I don't think anyone's ever said it was going to be used like a paddle thing. I've speculated about getting an attachment for it, but that's been debunked because of the way the connection of the disc is to whatever it is, the technicalities of the angle of the dangle not virtually be in proportion with the heat of the meat, Link height molecules are not affected without a titanium friction reducer. And that's just how it is, children. But as far as the controller, yeah, I'm not nervous about it, but I'm very inquisitive about it. Inquisitive about the controller. So, I don't know. We'll just have to see when it comes out. And that's going to be the last topic. And then I'll play with you guys in the chat here for a few minutes. I should actually fire up some Enduro Racer, huh? I can't. Fuck. I mean, I guess I could use this controller. I don't know. But the last one that came up actually while we were talking is, will the Amico come out? I've already answered that question twice. 3 times. And I've answered it in 2 or 3 different ways. 2 or 3 different ways. The simplest way to say is I don't have a crystal ball, so I couldn't tell you either way if it's going to come out or not. So anyone who's coming out saying that it's going to or it's not going to, beware of your words. Because if you're screaming it's not going to and then it comes out, it's egg in your face. And, vice versa, I suppose. But, because you got to be fair about these things. You do have to be fair about these things. My opinion, knowing the drive that Tommy has, seeing his career, because I'll be quite honest with you, I'm pretty sure I've said this before. I didn't really know much about him at all before any of this Amico stuff. In fact, I'd seen his name a few times here and there, and I believe he was in the video game years that, NES Punk and all them had put out a bunch of years ago, Retro Wave or whatever the fuck that network was on YouTube. Those were really great episodes. I'm pretty sure Tommy was in a few of those. And I remember thinking to myself, who the fuck is this guy? I don't recognize him, so he can't be anybody. But, no, in all seriousness, I really didn't know much about him. I didn't know anything about him, to be honest with you. I heard of Video Games Live. Never went to it. In fact, never really listened to it. So I didn't really know anything about him. So when this whole thing started coming down, mainly after my conversation with him on the phone when I had an issue before making that video because I was angry, but deciding to ask him directly before I did that for either clarification or validation, which thank God I got clarification and not validation because I was pretty steamed. I looked into him. And I'm like, all right, well, this fucking guy's got drive. This guy's got drive. And like I said, I'm not aiming for the console. I'm rooting for the team that's behind it. I've heard and seen the vigor in all these people. The drive that I get, that's the only word I can say. They have a drive to make sure this thing happens. Now, you could joke about when he does his little tours through the office to people's faces and stuff. Think about it this way. You're not a dude or a dudette who hangs out on cameras like I do, or Phil does, or half my buddies on here do. You may not have a camera in your face quite often during the week. And here's this fucking guy with all this energy, hey, shoving a camera in your fucking face. You think you're going to look all excited? No. So you can't sit there and look at those videos and the shittiest things, the stupidest things people are criticizing that totally debunk the Amico. Look at the employees, they don't look happy to be there. There are probably a whole bunch of folks that don't have cameras in their face. And here's this super hyper dude who's excited about everything he wants to talk about in that building, including the chairs or whatever, putting a camera in your face. Well, you're just trying to get something done, you know? Think about it that way. Because there are people who legitimately just want to get it done. I have a job to do. Yay. Hi, YouTube. Now, Tommy, can I get back to fucking work? So, but the drive that are really in those people, you can't judge it from those videos because they're just like, oh, video camera, yay, cell phone, whatever. Stop it. But the company does have drive, and the individuals behind it are genuinely trying to make this happen. So, am I going to sit there and maybe possibly put egg in my face and say, yeah, I think it's going to come out? Yes, I am going to do that. And I promise you, if the day comes that it just doesn't happen, I will be here saying I was wrong. Fuck. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that everybody was right about all their negative criticism. But any negative criticism that comes to light and is true, then of course I'm going to sit there and say, yeah, you know what, I think these guys had something, you know. But everything we just discussed here today, all 12 of these topics, are the main talking points of all these folks. And it's just not true. It's not true. The price point. People's excitement. Cult. What else? The physical media. It was never said it was going to be a readable thing as far as like being able to insert it. It has always from day one been something that reads. Like okay, we'll take this little... all right, so I keep showing this to you. This is probably the greatest toy I have ever bought. It's a Gonk droid, power droid, that you wind up. It's like the most... all right, so he walks, but then you do this. Come on, make Gonk noises. Fucking asshole. There you go. I saw that, and that was an easy $10 to spend. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. A Gonk droid that you wind up and it walks. And it's almost in scale with a lot of the figures. It's definitely in scale with the Black Series, so you can display it with them. But, yeah, you know what, boys and ghouls? I think that's all I really want to say. That's all I really want to say. And I hope some of it made sense. I hope at least a little bit of it made sense. I hope I touched on some topics and maybe... I'm not trying to change minds. Oh, I hate taking off my glasses because everything goes blurry. I'm not trying to change minds. I'm just trying to dispel some bullshit. Now, you know, my thumbnail and my title for the video is a little punky. I get it. Dispelling the myths. It is what it is. I'm still on YouTube, and I still fall into the category of doing certain things for the click. Because at the end of the day, I do want people to see it, but if you don't, you don't. But there's just like these handful of things that have just been bothering me, that like we're on payrolls. And that we can't be this excited. I scribbled through all my notes here, so I can't really read anymore. Tommy is dictating to us what to and what not to say. Now, I will say this, though, just for transparency. that there are times where Tommy has said, you can't talk about this. But I've been very open about that. On some of the things that have been revealed to me that aren't revealed yet. Hey, Chris, you want to check this out? Yeah, let me see that. Like when I did my interview with him, as soon as we shut off, he's like, you're not recording anymore, right? I'm like, no, dude, I'm not. He goes, please don't be recording. So he showed me a few things, and then we talked about guitars. But he asked me, look, can you just keep this secret for now? I like to give everybody a little bit of a, if they're kind enough to have me on their channel. And I can appreciate that. He's a good dude. He's definitely an East Coast dude. And if you're not familiar with that, we take care of each other back and forth. You do this for me, fuck, I got to do something for you. And vice versa. And I try to live by that, but I tend not to have the means. But I try to do the best I can with what I got. But he's of that mentality that, thank you, let me take care of you here. My landlord's like that. I'll do something in the yard or whatever because I just see the grass getting long, and he'll be like, here, here's $100. Thanks for doing that for me. It is what it is. But so I hope we cleared up some things, and I know I was being a smug here and there, but I genuinely believe everything I just said, and I hope some of it resonated with anybody, the yays or the nays. I don't know exactly the ratio in the comments. As a matter of fact, I don't even know how many people are in here. 27! Holy Nikes. 27 people. Jesus, thank you guys for coming by. I really do appreciate it. But I suppose if there's anything you take away from this video, anything, is if you're willing to be a puke, I haven't used that phrase in a long time. If you're willing to be a puke because somebody is excited about something or happy, if you're the type of person that actively goes out and tries to dispel someone's happiness, you're the worst sort of individual. And I'll pray for you. It's really all that simple. So I suppose I'll leave it up to some open chats. Maybe I'll put my glasses back on so I can see what's going on in the chat. It looks like you guys are just yapping back and forth. I hope you guys are being cool. I hope all the yays are being cool with the nays and the nays are being cool with the yays, because at the end of the day, we're all, we're on this stupid fucking rock for like this long. We're on this rock for this long. And to really be a hateful scumbag over something as stupid as a video game console, it's just not really. I dig passion. If you're passionate for or against something, let your passion show through. Let your freak flag fly, but there's a way to do it without being a puke. There really is. There really is. So I hope you guys have all been cool. Let's see, Sal says, Atari Creep. Thanks again for the stream. Great job as always. Thanks, man. I feel like I stumbled through this one. Because like I was saying, I don't know who was here earlier, but it was one of those ideas. I was like, yeah, we're going to do this. And then when it came time to start doing it, I was just like, oh, shit. But it is what it is. But yeah, I hope you guys are all having, everyone here is wrong and I'm right. Alex, I believe that. I genuinely believe that. You guys, whatever you're all saying is wrong. And as long as Alex says it's so, it is so. Alex, I still got a few things for you here. Keep meaning to get out of the house. I don't get out of the house. I try not to, anyway. But I got a few things for you. I haven't forgotten you. What makes you say that? Oh, okay. So you guys are all chatting amongst yourselves. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Just be cool to each other, and stop fucking being gossipers. Stop being gossipers. Stop talking about each other's channels. Talk about what you love. Talk about what you love. And I think that's it. I mean, there is room for criticism. There's a lot of room for criticism. But I honestly feel, and this is the feel-good moment of my channel, that if more people talked about what they gave a shit about, what they loved, and not as much about what they fucking despise and hate, I think we'd all be a better people. You know what I mean? We'd all be a better people. And, yeah, that's it. That's it. So, okay, hold on. Tell me of a single game that will be released in 2023 on the Amico. There are none. I can't tell you what's going on in 2023 because I don't have a crystal ball. I think that's unfair to ask. Legit, I think that's unfair to ask. I could tell you what's supposed to come out this year. I could tell you some of the things that he's working on, or they are working on getting, hopefully to launch on the system at some point in the next year, or maybe in 2022. But to ask me, of all people, what's coming out in 2023, trying to have a point that, because I can't answer that question, then it's all smoke and mirrors. I don't think it's fair. That's not fair at all. That's too far into the future. That's a question you have to ask the company, not some fat fuck with no teeth on a YouTube channel. Let's see. I hang with Saggy Melons. I've only seen one of her videos. She did a live stream with Tommy a while back. I think it's legit. I mean, she's been on the Retro Bros live streams. I've seen her in there. I don't really know much about Saggy. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. But just know that a lot of the folks that have channels, I'm there. I may not speak up often, but that's got to do with my anxieties and shit. But I promise you, I'm there in the shadows. I'm lurking around. Teddy, you're a good guy. You're arguing points like a civil human being. It's much welcomed. I don't know what Teddy's talking about, but I'm glad. Teddy, thank you for coming by. Doug, I don't think I've said your name. Thank you for coming by. Was it Raya? Am I saying that right? Raya, R-A-Y-A. Raya, thank you. Teddy Doggy. That's a cool name, Teddy Doggy. I like that. I'm trying to look here. Cadaver Kev! Oh, man. What's up, my friend? I'm glad you popped by. I hope you're still here. If not, well, hopefully you're getting my hellos telepathically. I'm scrolling through the comments to see if there's any names. Sal, I'm pretty sure I said hi to you. I'm glad I did. Starblaze 1969. It's a system that sells well and other games will be released. There you go. Starblazer, that's a new name to me. Thank you for coming by. Thank you so much. Let's see. What else we got here? Seems like I've gotten everybody. Looks like I've gotten everybody. So, yeah, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Was it Saturday now? Retro Nonsense. What's up, brother? Wow. That's a blast from the past. Real blast from the past. Great channel, Retro Nonsense. Great channel. I say that about a lot of channels, but I only say it when I mean it. So, Blitzkrieg. There you go. I hope you guys aren't just coming in now because I'm about to bail. I'm bailing. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you've been pretty civil in the chat. I really do appreciate the two super chats for the Alzheimer's Association. That's $40 more going towards research. I just need to figure out how to pull it out. So, and once I do, of course, I'll put it directly in there. I might not even include the 30% that YouTube takes. I'll just do the $20 each individually, and I'll just put in from super chat on the dealio there. I still got to do the t-shirt ones. I have that in a bank within my my YouTube my PayPal. I got to get those out. I'm kind of hoping for the number to get bigger. That's why. But I got money from t-shirts that I need to put in there, and of course some super chats that need to go in there. So I really do appreciate it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, September 27th, I believe it is, the anniversary of Cliff Burton's passing. I'm going to be doing the Walk to End Alzheimer's. I do it every year. It's always in September. And I start campaigning for it midsummer. Links are all down below. You can get a t-shirt from my TeePublic that goes directly to the Alzheimer's Association after, of course, I get paid for it. There's a specific one. You can't miss it. Let's see. Chris of Video Game Dust Sleeves puts together a video game dust sleeve for your video games. That's specifically for it. All money goes directly to the Alzheimer's Association from that. And you can donate directly. That's down below as well. And I do appreciate all the support I get every year. It's amazing. I think that's probably one of the best parts of this platform is being able to do good for somebody or something, And this cause means a lot to me. And as I've done it here publicly on YouTube, I've learned that it means a lot to other people as well. Even some people who come by and hate me. They've even still said, hey, you may be a scumbag and I may not like you, but thank you for doing the Alzheimer's stuff. And you never have to thank me. You never have to thank me. And since you're here, it's not something new, but let me share something with you that's going to happen this coming week. let me share something that's going to happen this week. Now, I made those video game desk covers for the Atari 2600 consoles. And I mentioned this before that I'm probably going to stop doing them because there's some quality things that I'm not happy with. They work, but there's some things that are bothering me. And they just take so long to make that it's just not... It makes no sense to do them. It makes no sense to do them. But I printed up 10 in a very silky purple with the American, the Alzheimer's Association logo, 2021. It does say Atari Creep on the sides. This camera's not going to show it, but it's like a iridescent purple. It kind of plays with the light. I printed up 10 of these, and these are going to be up on my Etsy. That link is down below too. Sometime next week. Now, unfortunately, I only have 9 that I can offer because one of the kids stepped on it and broke the spines here. So there are only going to be 9 available. All monies for that are going to go to the Alzheimer's Association. They're going to be a little bit more than my normal ones, but it's because it's for the cause. And just for shits and giggles, and this isn't even that great of a thing, but I printed up one of these to be funny. As soon as I started learning how to do CAD with my 3D printer and all that, I wanted to see if I could make an Amico. And on April Fool's Day, I was going to have it in the background, but very clearly, so people were like, did he get an Amico already? So I was playing around with the idea, and I got the controller size wrong. But I printed one up with the logo too. And I may sneak this into one of the 9 orders. So if you're interested in something like that, these are for your Atari 2600 console. Anything that has a port that holds 2600 just slips right into it. And it protects your thing from dust. Something I came up with. But this week sometime I'm going to have these special purple ones on my Etsy shop. There'll be better pictures for you to look at. And if you're kind enough to order them, the money will go directly to the Alzheimer's Association. The shipping costs will be in the price of the item. So I can just take the solid number and be done with it. All right, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you always so much for watching. I can't say that enough. I really do appreciate everybody's input. And, yeah, until next time, take care. Hope you're doing well. Creep it real. And bye-bye.